Blog Talk Radio.
I mute the chat because I'm blind and I can't have it ringing in the voiceover. But I'll answer it afterwards.
Get a mannequin.
It feels like I'm kissing rubber.
Welcome to Take Two Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check take2radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take Two Radio, and thanks for listening.
Welcome everybody.
Here we are again, Take Two Radio Soaps.
I'm
Hola, amigos. It's Willy here from Willy's View Podcast. It's great to be back.
Thank you, Will. We got Anthony and Candice.
We do. Hey.
And Carolyn is
here.
Carolyn is.
We are sending out much love to Carolyn.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is. It's nice to have all you with me tonight, and we got a lot to go over.
It's great to be back. There's just so much going on in daytime. It's great to get back with everybody and chat about what we all love, which is daytime.
That's
Absolutely.
True.
Yeah.
And
it didn't take forever and a day.
And I'd like. Yep. We haven't seen each other in that long.
So how's everybody
why
doing?
don't we start with days?
The weather's been acting up.
Okay.
How are you all doing over there?
I keep saying the weather is going through something right now because one moment it's cold, and then it's hot, and then it's look. I heard that Maryland's not going to have a bad winter. I would like to say that we're not going to have a bad weather allegedly. So fingers crossed.
The Farmer's Almanac says that it's going to be a very mild winter. The Farmer's Almanac has like an 87%, on target, track record. So not that it's going to matter much. I'm in Miami now, so
yeah,
I don't know if I'll ever see snow again.
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. I don't know about that because, we just say it, this year has been weird. And, some places that usually don't have snow had snow. Those places who normally doesn't have earthquakes had earthquakes. So it's kind of like, you never know. Just like with soap. You never know what's going to happen next.
Girl, if it starts snowing in Miami, I will believe all those flat earth people that say that, like, the world is ending next year or 3 years or 5 years. I'll be like, okay.
No. We're not going to end the world until somebody on this phone, mainly me, goes to the Daytime Emmys and actually get one instead of borrowing one.
Yes,
Just
work,
like,
girl, work. And how is that all going?
Okay.
Are you feeling sufficiently challenged, Miss Candice?
It's interesting because I've always given, head writers, executive producers, you guys know me, I give everybody in this genre their dues. Even when there's times where I'm just like, you know what, girl, bye. Like, I can't stand it. But it's really a commitment. Like we're in a relationship, a lifelong relationship now. Like, I can't. And it's like now I have to really come up with ways to ooh and ah and be like, oh, my God. Like those moments. And so far, if you guys listen to season 1 of Forever and a Day, you probably got those moments. So, shout out to the crew over there. But it's just weird. It's weird. Anthony, it's weird that I'm actually doing a soap opera. That's the weird part. It's like,
I am so proud of you. So very proud and so very happy.
We're the new kids on the block of the soap genre, because Tuesday was National Soap Opera Day. Yes, it is a holiday, folks. We didn't make it up. That was the day the first soap opera actually debuted on WGN radio in Chicago. Erna Phillips, you might know her. She Anthony, you like David, you guys know Erna. You know Erna from down the street. You know her. She created the show, and over 90 years, both daytime, primetime, now has gone into iTunes, to digital, to back in the audio podcast with Forever Today. And so it doesn't feel real to me yet. I don't know when it's going to feel real to me, but it's like it's an alternate universe. Does that make
enjoy
sense?
The ride.
Like,
you have
enjoyed the ride.
Been a lifelong loyal soap opera. Not only fan. You push this genre in directions. You've been a commentator, a fan, a love. So enjoy the ride. This is, we are so very happy for you. But David was pushing for us to start with days.
We're going to start with days. And I want to know, first I have a question. Now, this is what's going on now with this blackout. This is a filler 8 days?
Yes, to kind of keep everything on track, a la the holidays. Ron and his team has decided to kind of give you some extraness of Salem, some flashbacks, some current, in between with this blackout. So everything can be on target for the holidays, because if they didn't do this, then like November 11th we'd be celebrating Thanksgiving, because they're already taping. Like they're into December now. Yeah, they're already taping December now. Which, if you think about it, it's still interesting, considering the fact that we're in the final. Like, this is like next week is the last week of October. Usually they'll be filming half of February now.
Yeah.
So now they're actually 6 to 8 weeks ahead. They're actually on the same pace as most of the regular shows. Will it last? Tune in and find out.
Well, we'll find out.
Okay.
Now, there was also something else. Now, they shut down they were supposed to shut down for 2 weeks because they had a case, but they went in early.
Yeah, they went back Tuesday. So basically what happened was somebody from the NBC / Corday Productions production team, it wasn't an actor, but somebody on set, production-wise, caught it, and they were quarantined for 14 days. Now, here's the thing. Hey, Anthony, get ready for my 2020 moment here, okay? Sources say that the CDC guidelines require a 2-week shutdown on production if one person has tested positive for corona. Various sources had said that they went back on Monday, the 19th. That was not true. They went back on Tuesday. However, there were certain people that was like saying this person, they only have a small group going in and out. They're rotating cast members because you can't have a lot of people. Now, I know what some of you guys are thinking. Wait a minute, they kind of went back too quickly. I agree. They did go back too quickly, but if everything was okay and safe and given the thumbs up, then yeah. And hopefully everybody is, of course, safety first.
Here's the deal on this. They did a thorough contact tracing, and they did multiple testings before they went back on Tuesday. And that person had only interacted with a very small amount of people. And with the guidelines that are in place on the sets, in the production rooms, et cetera, it was highly unlikely that there had been any transmissions in the first place. But they did 3 strong, full-on days worth of contact tracing to make sure, and everybody was tested multiple times. So, it's a gambit. We leave our door and we get on public transportation. We go to the supermarket. It's a gambit. You never know if and when, but the cost that it would cost them to stay shut down versus what it costs to do the contact tracing, and of course the small gamble that they're taking, the ways outmean the means and the way, whatever that phrase is, it outweighs it. And they are very, very cautiously filming, et cetera, et cetera. So, I'm going to give them their props. They did what needed to be done. They came back. They're on target to continue the production schedule. So, good job, Dace. Good job.
It's doing good. At least there were no actors.
Right.
Affected.
They're definitely taking safety precautions with the actors, because obviously you guys probably have heard about John Aniston.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. A lot of fans went back and forth with this. My thing is that he's a man of a certain age.
Yeah.
And even though we want ourselves to come back, and they have, we also got to remember that some actors may not return because of this corona. Because in California, it's still high. You think of, Bill and Susan Hayes. My God, Bill Hayes is going to be, he's going to be 95 this year, 96 next year? Either way, he looks good for his age.
Yeah.
Suzanne,
Suzanne Rogers. There's certain people, that may or may not, even the younger set. I mean, so, about John Anderson, I you know what? Do your thing, Mr. Anderson. Do your thing, because I'd rather for you to be safe and, doing grumpy in your nice home, sending the Zoom, sending the video, do what you got to do to be safe. And I think Days, Sony, NBC, good God, if, again, allegedly, if this, I think it is actually true, because, we haven't seen it on set. So yeah, safety first.
Safety first.
Exactly.
Safety.
So,
and there's no lack of story.
Oh, wait a minute. Go ahead. Okay, Anthony, go ahead, and then David, and then,
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Anthony.
No, I'm just going to say, there's no lack of story, and, John will do what John needs to do. We don't know what kind of secondary conditions he may or may not have. We don't know, in his household what else might be going on. But, we looked at, Port Charles and what they did with some green screen stuff, and, that's a full of, ocean and country away. So these definitely takes the risks. They definitely push the envelope. So, just keep watching. And unfortunately, if we can't get a resolution to a small piece of the storyline right now, there's enough story there to distract us and to keep us moving. And of course, I'm sorry, but hello, Miss Katie, girl.
Okay.
We saw a peek.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, now, here's the thing. A lot of fans, again, were surprised by this, including me, because I thought she was coming on later this week. By later this week, I mean Friday. Because originally, they did say the 23rd of October. So some people were wondering, did they edit the scene that was supposed to be for Friday and placed it for the end of that episode? I don't know. I was just like, wait, we're not going to get the role of Jennifer Horton is now being played by Katie McComb. We didn't get that. I didn't hear it.
The whole
the
23rd thing. The whole 23rd thing was a red herring, so that they could generate exactly what happened. Twitter went abuzz. Facebook went abuzz. Everybody was like, oh, my God, it happened today. We expected to see 3 seconds of her on the end of the show on Friday and then be salivating all weekend long, hoping that they had the sense and sensibility to put her front and center on the Monday. But, once again.
They did it as a tease.
They did our tease, exactly.
Yeah.
They did it as a tease, which is great because Ron's known for doing this. As we all know, when he was on General Hospital, he did a tease when Robin appeared to be alive when nobody expected it. That one time when Robin returned, when everybody thought she was dead, you remember at General Hospital, he kind of did the same thing. He kind of did a tease, and then also on One Life to Live, he did another tease. So Ron gets kudos from me because he's still staying that soap genre where he loves to surprise the daytime fans, especially not just the Days fans, but As the World Turns, because they pushed it that, hey, look who's coming to Days. It's Katie McLean, Rosanna Cabot from As the World Turns. So they get credit for that on my end. I love that.
Honestly, it wasn't the surprise value. It was the publicity value that they were getting out of it. All the tweets, all of the interaction online. We knew Katie was coming for a few weeks now. So, there was no shock value involved as far as that was concerned. It was more just to generate some buzz. And then it did exactly what it was meant to do. It had everybody talking, okay, what's coming on Friday? What's going to happen? Where is this storyline going to go? And is she going to be able to, evoke the Jennifer-esque aura? You know what I mean? Or is she going to come in? Go ahead, Willie.
Go ahead. Also, I was going to say, I'm really loving how they did this blackout, intricately, which you can just look at it piece by piece. It's really good, especially under the COVID guidelines. It must have been kind of hard for them because normally in a blackout storyline, you got more people interacting with each other, but I'm sure they have specific strict guidelines of how they got to do the scenes. So, again, I give kudos to Days because the way you got it, like Orpheus with Marlena, you got Chad with Philip. The way it broke up, I love how they did that. That's a really good job. So what do y'all think? Are you enjoying how they separated the storyline separately but mixed together in a blackout? How are you enjoying that?
I'm gonna let y'all talk about it. I got something to say later.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Candice.
Do you like it, or did you feel like it's a little rushed, Candice?
Okay. It's I was going to say it's cute, but that wasn't even the right word. It's great filter. There you go.
Yep.
It's great filter. To me, again, this was a situation where they had to craft something together in a very short time, and I give them kudos for that. It's just there's certain parts of this blackout where I'm just like, really? Like, okay. And anybody who knows me, I have nothing but love for Days. I want Days to survive. However, this is one of those moments where I'm like, okay, because of Corona, they had to do what they had to do instead of doing something that I thought that they should have done, which is show classic episodes. So, but that's another day. That's way back in the day. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I just, like I said, it's cute, and it's what they had to do, and yeah, okay, I'm good.
Anthony?
David and Anthony, and with Caroline. Caroline's here, right?
No, she's not.
No, Carolyn.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to make sure everybody. Well. I try to get addresses to everybody. But what is everybody else's views on this with the blackout storyline? The reason I'm asking is because I love Dates too, but I noticed that a lot of the fans were saying that why did they go this route? Because apparently they must have done a blackout years ago. Is that correct?
Okay.
They did something.
They did a blackout. They did a blackout about 20 years ago now. But let's talk about today. And the honest truth is, it's okay. Let me word it this way. It's interesting enough that I'm not turned off but there are so many other ways that they could have gone and probably should have gone that I'm feeling flat. You know, I do like, you know, when we came back from the time jump and we had a couple of buddy situations as well. You know, if you remember from the time jump, we had Eve and Justin, we had Will and Ben in prison, you know, and they fostered storyline arcs, you know, that went really, really far. But when we were sitting in it in the moment, we were saying to ourselves, this, you know, why are they doing this way? So I'm kind of hoping that as, you know, as the next 2 weeks progress, because that's, you know, from what I'm to understand, this blackout storyline is going to go on for a little while, that it sets up story to go forward with. It's really not doing anything for me in the moment. You know, I'm not going to turn away and stop watching because I want to see what happens next, but it's not really doing it for me. I think that there was a couple of other ways that they could have done this that would have had much more impact. David?
I have to agree because I feel like I'm reliving it like from a couple of years ago. There was like another prison break, and it was with two of the same ones. Or it was Orpheus, Xander, and Clyde a couple years ago. What I know it was a prison break, but I don't know if there was a power outage. I can't remember. But
no, the big blackout was like in 2003, I think it was.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was like 2003.
Yeah, 2003, and then the other main one, like a blackout, was the most famous one was Dynamite, 1993. God, that was good episode.
Okay, so you know what? I'll pose a question back. All
right,
Candice, I want you to go first. Orpheus again. Does it have any impact, or you know?
No.
Orpheus is never going to be Stefano, right?
I'm just going to clear it up. No, like to me again. I'm going to tell you guys where I'm standing at. Right now, we're getting ready for sweeps, right? This is when we're getting ready for the big to-die present at the end of the year, okay? We're on the road to the end of the year. And to me, again, like I said, props goes to them for doing something short notice. I get it. I got it. But at the same time, you're right. The point of Orpheus coming back for what? For what? Him and Clyde. No offense. Yeah, Clyde, your son is going through something. But I don't feel anything unless you put them full time and you give them something. Look, can we where's Summer? Where's Summer?
And I hope that this is actually the impetus to Jordan is not really dead.
Right.
I you know, with Rafe, and Gabby coming back and Clyde on the canvas, I have a feeling that Orpheus, I can't understand. I don't get it. There are so many other characters that they could have brought back that would have driven storyline, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But with Clyde, I hope that this is in the where is Jordan, and we need to, you know, resolve that situation.
Yeah.
It's like,
and
it's
another
like, what
thing.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I had a question too, because one, when they showed the new promo for everybody coming back, after that, they showed Evan in that promo. So what Orpheus is it a foreshadowing to get Evan back in?
Yes, that's a good question, because if you look at it, they give you clues. That's what I love about this blackout storyline. Pay attention. It's like I tell the fans that I throw teasers. There's clues going around, like with what's going on right now with Abby and Gwen. When they were talking, and Gwen said, "Do they know how do they know their fathers? Do they have a good relationship?" She's asking that for a reason, because I'm hearing this that Gwen is supposed to be Jack's other daughter or something like that, and that's going to cause some major reactions between not just Salem, but also Jack and Jennifer and some other people we didn't expect. So that's going to be really good. Then the other part I'm enjoying is Orpheus is back, and as much as people don't care for him, he's returning for a reason. He's the reason that Evan gets out of jail because Marlena's going to get him out of jail. She's getting forced to do it because I don't know if it showed today or not, but supposedly Abby's little boy gets kidnapped, and the only way he's supposed to get him back is if Marlena follows the rules. So she's got to do whatever Orpheus tells her, which is to do as he says, basically.
Okay, I'm just going to do this because you just now said something that I'm really holding this in because I don't know if we're going to get to this about Allie and Tripp. But what you just said about Marlena and what you just said to follow, to follow his lead, to follow the orders, to pretty much sacrifice herself and whatnot. I'm having a huge problem with this, with Dave. And I'm sorry if I offend anybody. You guys already know where I stand at. If you follow me on social media and you hear me everywhere else, I'm having a problem with Days of Our Lives and the way they're writing the women now. Because to me, it's like, Marlena needs to be with her granddaughter. 1. 2, this whole rape situation, I'm sorry. I understand everybody's like, oh, but it's 2 different sides. We never got that. Guess what? No offense. At the end of the day, it might not be true. Look, you already know how the story's going to play out. It may not be Tripp. It may not be Charlie. It may not. At the end of the day, that again, Days of Our Lives, for the umpteenth time, you have a young woman who has been assaulted, has been description-wise shamed because if you notice, they kept making sure that people know that. She has a problem with her alcohol. She's a party girl. She's irresponsible. Okay, we get it. We got that description. You don't have to constantly tell us every single day about it. We get it. My thing is that Days of Our Lives, I'm going to remove Ron out of it for a minute because everybody says, oh, it's Ron, it's Ron, it's Ron. No, this has been going on since 1978 with all of these rapes every 2 to 5 years, and that includes also men. Because I'm sorry, am I supposed to forget about Brady? Am I supposed to forget about Eric? Am I supposed to forget, Austin and stuff? And not only that, according to some sources in Salem, Abby had a seduction towards Stefan. Excuse me? I'm pretty sure we were all there to watch what happened, right? We were there. That was no seduction. So to me, what you just said, about Marlena makes, she goes ahead and follows. So to me, Marlena is old enough and smart enough to know better. And not only that, but like I said, she should be over with her granddaughter trying to help her out with the ordeal that she's going through because Marlena has gone through it herself as well. And to me, right now, this is where Days needs to take a chill pill because you have so much going on. And I understand now because of that podcast that Ken Corday did, I understand certain things now. But at the same time, you have to think, first and foremost, you got some bumps coming along the way. In the next couple of weeks, Dave's has some bumps coming along the way. And for those who don't know, I'm briefly talking about renewal.
I don't know.
The renewal.
Candice, I've got a quick question. Why is it that Ron seems to be writing the women like they're kind of weak? I'm catching a pattern. Because you got Abby talking with Gwen, and you see that she's so gullible. I don't understand this because
he writes them into a corner and then he turns them into victims.
I'm going to say that.
Abigail,
it's not just
Abigail's supposed to be kind of like Jennifer, smart, very, very, very smart and cunning. She should be able to be aware. But the way they're writing her is like, what happened? Did going to the loony bin change her attitude because she's a little more mellow? It's a little weird.
Chad acts more like a victim than Abby. Chad acts more like, let me just say it again. Chad acts more like a victim. Than Abby. When Abby said her stuff about Jake, oh, he's a wonderful guy. Okay, look, we said this on the show. Ashley, when did we say this? 3 months ago, 4 months ago? 5 months ago, we was like, Days fans, don't get mad when they bring back Abby and set up a Abby, Jake, Gwen, Chad situation. Don't get mad because they're going to do something. Because the interesting factor is that Jake has the same face as the guy who raped her. But according to some people in Salem, it was a seduction again. Days of Our Lives is starting to...
Okay, so, you know, honestly...
So then does that mean that Jake's going to end up sleeping with Kate?
Hold on.
No, that's what needs to be said. Is at this point, you know, they need to stop using rape as a story device that gets you all heated up and then you turn around and take it away. You are taking what is a horrific piece, you know, action that can happen in real life. Of violence. Thank you. I'm sorry. I was grasping for. You're taking what is a horrific piece of violence in real life and using it as a storyline device and then taking away the impact of it because, oh, surprise, surprise, A, either it never happens or B, I'm falling in love with my rapist, so it wasn't really rape. And that's, you know, that storyline is so played at this point. And the same thing, so, and to answer your other question, Ron has a habit of writing his heroines into a corner where there's nothing left to do with them but to bring them into cuckoo, you know, collapsed victim, you know, to the point where we don't know them anymore. Remember what he did with Elizabeth on General Hospital. And it took brilliant writers to pull her out of that piece and bring her back to the, bring her closely back to the Liz.
I remember that. Yes, that's very true.
You know, he did it with Blair on One Life to Live. He has a habit of pushing them to a point where there's nothing left to do with them except make them collapse. Same thing with Connie Kate. You know, so either you let them go insane and you make them DID, or you turn them into these victims that they never were in the first place. And that, you know, we're seeing it all over again.
And the thing is, and I always say this too, is that, okay, for those, because sometimes we do forget not everybody watches all 4 soaps or past soaps that have been canceled to know Ron's writing. I happen to know Ron's writing because I watched One Life, I watched General Hospital, and I watched Days. However, again, I take Ron out because you look, if you've been a fan of Days since day one or early 90s or even 1978, you know that there's a pattern of how the women are written, how there's rape, you know, and yes, rape happens on all soaps. I know.
Yeah.
But Days in the last couple of years has been, you know, using that to drive story. Little baby Henry, that's his name, right? Henry. Hank.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to call him. I'm going to call him Hank. It just seemed nice, Nicole. I agree with that. It's the 6th child that is a product of a rape.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, okay, rape storylines has been a staple of soap for a very long time. However, in the world we live in now, especially with the Me Too movement and whatnot, you have to be real sensitive about how you do these storylines, especially when you already have it where she could be falsely accusing somebody. Right there, we have, and I get it. Again, I know this happens in real life. I understand. But on a soap...
On that point, Candice, on that point, I just want to say, as you know, I'm speaking for other fans as well, that they're just getting upset with the fact with it's not just GH, but soap in general as well, that they're doing the rape storylines like it's romanticizing or something like that, of that sort, and it gets away from the actual story. Or
even more
the
than
actual
that,
topic.
It's the device. It's the device to excuse away the actions of one of the participants, and more importantly, you know, I can almost go along with it when it's redeeming, quote unquote, the bad boy. Almost. I don't like it, but I can. But when you're using it as the plot device to excuse away the actions of the female in the storyline, you are doing a huge disservice to every woman out there who has been assaulted in any way, shape, or form. Forget about an actual rape. It's
that's what
borderline disgusting.
That's true. That is true.
And here's the thing: gone are the days of a Luke Spencer. If they were to tell Luke and Laura's story right now in today's society, you would the same way we're talking about days. General Hospital would have gotten heated. They would have got so much mail from fans, emails. If you would have done the Roger Thorpe raping Holly, and keep in mind, Roger and Holly were married. Guess what?
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
That was the
flow.
big thing.
So to me, you can't have we know Tripp. We know what he was capable of. Okay, is he redeemed? Not all the way. But my question is, okay, because of this storyline, and you're going to try to redeem him. Guess what? Not all bad characters need to be redeemed.
Exactly.
Because
Thank you.
When you redeem the bad character, guess what?
Then
Have
you
some
lose.
news for you. You lose their edge, and you put them in a position. And I'm going to say this character's name, not on
Look what they
Dave,
did to
but on
JJ.
another
They watered
show.
JJ down as well.
Let me tell you about.
And then we got to move on to the next show. But go ahead, Candice.
Okay. The thing with JJ, I still feel a certain type of way about the whole JJ Theo storyline. And I still feel a certain type of way of how they kind of shifted it to make, and I know this happened with Suicide, but you used it.
But everybody, don't forget how JJ left the canvas and where he was when he left the canvas, because that's going to be very important in the upcoming weeks. And I'm not going to say anything more than
when he comes
Candice, I think you know what I'm talking about, right? All right.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward to JJ returning. He's my favorite.
You're not going to see a GJ that you recognize when he comes back. That's all I'm going to say on that. Yeah.
And I'm going to say this too. I need for him to have this for him, but please do not work on it. Please do not bring him back to sanity. I'm just saying, because even when I write, I'm always thinking about that. I'm like, okay, if we take this character to a breaking point, do we keep them going, or do we slow it down, or do we go ahead and put lollipops and rainbows over their head and be like, la-di-da-di-da-di-da? You can't, in the genre, which celebrated 90 years, you have to have some bad boys. You have to have some bad characters, I'm sorry, who are still going to live. I mean, everybody likes Jack, right? Everybody likes Jack, right? Y'all like
everybody
Jack,
likes
Devereaux,
Jack.
right? Everybody likes Jack. Jack what?
Yeah.
Right.
Jack was a bastard.
I'm like, hello.
Yep.
I'm like, hello. Did y'all forget what he did? Like, no. It's just okay. All right. I guess I don't know my history. And that's the
I've
thing.
got a little update. I've got a little update for you before you switch over to like GH and Young and Restless. Pay close attention to Allie's storyline, because just when you think you know who the baby's daddy is, there's a twist in the storyline. It's going to be someone you don't expect.
We spoke about that. Not the last show, but
spoke
the
about
show before that. We're ready to go.
Yeah, because all of it's connecting. All of it's connecting. So.
Yep.
Yep.
Now,
and all I can say is one character that you think is the daddy, because everybody thinks it's one or two characters. One of the characters you think it is, it's really a red herring to what's going to happen next.
Yep.
Oh,
that's dope for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on over to Genoa City.
Okay.
Hey! Yes!
Oh my God! Thank you, Devon, for finally knocking out Nate. That was awesome.
Yeah, I was surprised with Nate.
All right. So I'm just gonna throw out a couple of things to start off with. Finally, Brittany Serpy is getting stuff that is worth playing. Oh my God, okay. And I don't want to get my feelings. I want to ask your feelings first before we go on this. The resolution, let's call it, to the Alzheimer's storyline. Candice, go.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing, and I've been saying this a long time. Young and Restless and GH, let me say it again. GH and Young and the Restless both started at the same time. Okay, Young and the Restless went left, General Hospital went right. There were certain parts of the storyline with Dina that got me. Her forgetting Tracy, her outing about Brett being the biological father of Ashley. There were some key highlights. Yeah. Towards the end, however, and I'm talking about last Friday, the last 5 minutes.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I broke like nobody's business because, first and foremost,
me too.
The way they promoted Marla Adams that whole week.
Yeah.
That promo was everything. And I'm not just saying that because everybody says I work for CBS on the side. I'm just saying when you are about to say goodbye to an actor who originated the role since May 26, 1983, they even gave you the receipt on that one. And
they did.
Been on other shows, Generations. She was the original Beth Logan on Bold and Beautiful. She's done it, but she's always come back. They never recast that role. And because she's the last of the broads, okay?
Yep.
For those who don't understand,
pretty much.
She was bold. She was gutsy. She told it like it is. She put Jill in her place. I love the interviews. When she came down the steps, I was like, whoo, here we go. I was like, dang, makeup team, you did good. Because I didn't think she had any makeup on. When she had said to Tracy, you will never be forgotten, I started crying.
Oh, my God.
Again, if you've not been watching Young and the Restless to understand why that particular line was so deep, then I suggest you go on All Access. Because Tracy's always felt that she was the forgotten one. She wasn't my beauty.
Right.
What she said to Ashley is what we fans have been saying since day one when we found out she wasn't Abbott. You were raised by John Abbott. You are an Abbott. Her and Jack. Half of me was like, okay, could they do a split of? Because I was kind of also thinking flashbacks was going to happen, but I was like, they probably won't because of But in that moment when she was talking, I don't know if it was just me because I'm crazy. I had a montage of Jack and Dina in my head when she was talking, and she said Jackie because the first time I heard her say that was with Terry Lassner, and then Peter Bergman. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when she said to Jack, "You're now the matriarch of the family." Here's where you realize how long you've been watching the show. To remember when Smiling Jack would con his way to being CEO of Jabot, to him being a protective Nicky, him and Jill going up the hill and riding each other, him like the stuff, and now he's the matriarch of a family. He is now in control of that like not in control, but he is the man of the Abbott. My only thing was, even when she said to Abby and Kyle, and yes, I'm on team. Theo should have been there. He should have. I know he wasn't. The beginning of the day that they wrote him, you would think he was an Abbott, but because he was a Brooke, he should have been there. I'm team. Theo. But so should have Chemo, and so should Chemo. And y'all know him. And is Aunt May May still with us? Because Aunt May May should have been contacted too. I know what y'all saying, Candice. Dad, you really went there. But to me, I thought in those 5 minutes, because there was one more thing. I personally was like, Jerry Douglas is going to make an appearance. I said it was.
I was hoping
for Jerry Douglas, and I was like, no, they probably because of Corona. They, when she opened that door, you heard him say Dina. I'm like, I was like the same way I was with Mike and Courtney from GH. I was bored with that because of that.
Wait, now I got some stuff to say on that, but let's let David go real quick because I got some stuff to say. But go ahead, David. Okay.
So first of all, I was applauding with Candice on Facebook with her. That I was crying. I was crying my eyes out during those same scenes, Candice. You'll never be forgotten. You were raised by an Abbott. You are an Abbott. This is Jack. This is your family now. Take good care of them. And and when she opened that door, and I heard John's voice, I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Willie, quick comment?
Yeah.
And then I gotta go. Go.
All right. I love the entire storyline, and like Candice and everybody else, it left me in tears, bucket of tears. I did feel bad that Theo wasn't there. They could have at least reached out to him. But if you look real closely in the storyline, they're being subtle, but I love it. There's now a new connection between Jack and Lauren with the necklace, and I think something's going to happen with that. Not saying romantically, though I would love it because people got mad.
It's going to be an adventure.
Supposed to be with Michael, but I would love Lauren with Jack. I think that would be fun. But I do hear that Jack's going to get a new lover, so I'm ready for the next. So go ahead.
Okay, well, the necklace thing is going to play into Sally Spectra big time. Not exactly sure how, but I have a feeling. We'll talk about that in 2 weeks. But the necklace is going to play in with the Sally Spectra character, and it's going to take Jack and Lauren on an adventure. But I didn't plan on saying that, but you brought that to the to the conversation at the moment. So I'm throwing that little spoiler out there. And I just found out that not only are we going to get Sally Spectra on, but Patrika Darbo is going to make guest appearances, her first one being a 4-day guest appearance, and she is open to doing quite a few. So that is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. But I was going to save that to the ending, but since Willie opened that door.
Who's coming?
I love me some Patrika.
Her grandma.
You wasn't supposed to say anything. You were supposed to let people figure it out, like get surprised. Oh my God, I can't believe you're surprised. You ruined the surprise.
All right. Now, to the Alzheimer's storyline. The very last show that we did 2 weeks ago, I announced the divorce proceedings were going forward between me and the Young and the Restless. And at that point, I had said there really wasn't anything that I could see in the foreseeable future that was going to bring me back to marriage counseling or some sort of reconciliation. Well, if there was, baked crow here up in Miami, I'd be eating it right now because, this storyline, if we're going to grade it against, the two of them against each other, overall, General Hospital did a much better job with the entire arc of the story. However, the ending, how they chose, that is how a soap veteran gets a send-off from a show. That is how it's supposed to be done. There were tears. There were poignant moments. There was touching back to the past. There was pushing towards the future. And then, yes, I did tear up when Courtney, and especially, Alicia Lee Willis, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Following the Edward and Lila popping up whenever someone's got to be ushered over to the other side. I did tear up, but it was so much more impactful after those final scenes and then the door. I'm sorry, but that last week of Mike's life in the hospital, it just didn't do it. It didn't bring it.
I'm gonna help you out with something. Now, if it was Ron Hale, and this is no shade to Max Gale. If Ron Hale,
it's not even if it was Ron Hale though, Candice.
No.
I love Jocelyn. I love the character. But they're kind of beginning to do with Jocelyn what they've done with Carly for 20 some odd years, and that's make her the center of every single thing that's happening. Yes, she was his step granddaughter, and yes, they should have had a cute little 3 or 4 scene moment with her. But where was Christina? I
agree with you on that.
They overdid it. They overdid it with putting too much Jocelyn almost into every storyline. I get what you're saying.
Well,
it gets a little stale.
I'm going to help you out with this.
Go ahead.
With this Alzheimer's storyline, even though this was a really, for 2 years, and this is where, General Hospital, me and General Hospital, you know, we're putting everything on hold. They stretch out a story. And yes, reality is, yes, Alzheimer's does take a time. It's a time frame. I agree with Jocelyn being there so much when I was thinking about, has Spencer, like, and I think fans had asked this question, has Spencer and Mike ever met?
What?
Because
has Mike ever met?
I think it was one time. Sam and Mike met years ago. I think the time when, if you look back on YouTube, I saw a video. She did meet him because Sam was involved with Sonny at one time. So they had an interaction at least one time that I recall.
All right. I mean, I know we're getting off the topic with Young, but it's all in the same. Is like Young and the Russells didn't include Theo. GH didn't include Nicholas. If you couldn't get Spencer, you could have had Nicholas talk to Mike in the form of Spencer. Christina. You know, I'm at the point right now where Christina is sort of like the only as needed for.
And I'm sorry, I love me some Maura West and I love me some Ava, but oh my God, being the representative of her daughter at the come on, I love me some Elizabeth, but when did we ever see Mike offer a shoulder to the teen set?
I mean, are we going to? No, wait a minute. Now, I'm going to defend this because let's remember back in 90s, early 2000s, Elizabeth worked with Mike at Kelly's.
Yeah.
But we never saw those scenes. Those scenes didn't happen.
But they, but they still worked it. You know, we got to acknowledge some history. Okay, back to Young and the Restless. Already in progress.
All right, I got a little update for you. This is going to be fun. On General Hospital, there will be an exit that nobody expected, so that's coming soon. And also, the rumblings that I keep hearing that Morgan Corinthos is supposed to return, along with Drew Kane. I'm not saying it's Billy Miller, but apparently Drew Kane is still alive. And, Dante's mission is to kill Peter. So watch out for those.
That part
we'll get to General Hospital soon. We're still in General City.
Yeah.
Now, so we talked about Alzheimer's. Now let's get to the Elena Devon, that whole debacle. But God, are they giving Brittany? Finally, they are letting that girl work to the caliber that she has, to the caliber of talent that she has. Okay, go ahead, girl.
The story. I love the storyline, and I'm loving how Amanda finally got to front Elena a little, and she's like, oh, I know what's going on, Elena. I put two and two together, making it sound like she's like a detective or something. Oh, my God, I was clearing like, yes, they're finally doing more interaction with Amanda and Elena. It's not just friendly here. It's like, okay, this is what's going down. I want the truth. So I love that. Thank you, writers.
Okay, first and foremost, shout out to Susan Davis, story consultant, because this was a story that needed consulting. Here's the thing. Okay, with Elena, Nate, and Devon, the history that this trio is giving me, it's a beautiful thing. Some say, and I said it too, this reminds them of Neil, Olivia, and Malcolm back in the 90s, which Susan was there for.
Yes.
However, I'm going to even take it up a little bit further. Since, Josh, you want to do this, let's do it. This reminds me of Karma for Devon. I love Devon.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted. But here's karma of when you took Hillary from your father. When you was with your Aunt Tyra. We have to talk about that sometime. To me, it's like, okay, this is what a soap is. Okay, when you have a character who has done some shady stuff in the past, all of a sudden it's like, here I am, I'm the man of the year, and here's a woman, and this has been my problem for a year with Josh. You had no direction with Elena. Let's be real for a second. You could have done it, but I'm enjoying it now because she said something to Devon. I was afraid that you were going to leave me for Hillary. Let the record show that this isn't just something that just came up. This has been a year, starting with her dressing in Hillary's clothes. No, let's get the receipt there. When Elena first came on and she was going to go to the party and she didn't find anything, and Devon said, "I'll give you one of Hillary's clothes." Nope. 2, you're fighting a ghost. The ghost still has a hook on your current man. Not only that, let the record show, 2, that Nate had a thing for Elena earlier this year.
Yeah.
And Amanda peeped that. To me, this story does have history. At first, it was the trio, but now you do have Amanda in it. And if y'all saw today's episode, you know where this probably is going. The fact that Elena allowed herself her vulnerability and Nate kind of seizing the opportunity. Yes, I said it like that. That was interesting. The way they shot it was interesting. I was like, okay. I was like, I said, look at those shadows. Young Russ was like, we ain't playing now. I love the guilt because she is so she's guilt-ridden, and you see it back and forth. It's like, how could she have done this? How could Nate have done this to his cousin? How could Devon, when Devon kicked her out, I'm like, dang, like, okay, Devon, you're not perfect. Like, I need somebody to say that. Yes, Lily and Amanda's relationship, very interesting. Amanda, but y'all know how I'm feeling about this. I don't really want Devon and Amanda to circle around each other romantically until much, much later. But if they're going to do this, and I said this before, 2 wrongs don't make a right, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to spoil anything, but just remember, 2 wrongs do not make a right. And yes, do I think there might be a pregnancy? God, please don't. But something's going to have to happen where there is an indefinite
answer to that question.
From something,
Yeah.
Because you can't just do this and not have, yes, it's a soap, even though I personally, don't, but I know that will, increase the drama of Elena or even Amanda. Don't say it like that. Yeah. Somebody gets pregnant. And it may go left, it may go right. But I'm enjoying it, and I agree. Brittany, girl, is getting that Emmy nod next year. I'm just going to say it now on Take 2 Radio. Supporting actress, Brittany Champagne, Young and the Restless, and Brighton James, and Sean. Yeah, oh my God. Young and the Restless has finally woke up.
Yeah. Yes, they have got me back. Yes.
Yeah. They have got me all the way back.
I love how they got that connection with Devon. If you're paying attention, which I'm glad that you are on that. But I love how they're building it like for the next generation. With you've got Devon, you got Nate, now you got Elena, and then you got Amanda. They're like, I love this because it's kind of like the next generation of Drew, Neil, Malcolm, and Olivia.
And don't
in a new sense. And I love that.
on Lily because she's going in a very interesting direction. Don't snooze on Lily.
Lily is being written the way I wanted
Lily's my favorite.
To be.
I love Lily. She's evolved, and just keep paying attention to Lily because there's a little hint that something's going to happen for Lily and Billy.
Yep.
And I'm for
that,
it.
right? Okay.
I'm for it.
You know what the wrench in that is going to be? Jack. Don't forget, Jack and Lily have that friendship. And that mutual respect, a big uncle, because Jack and Neil had the relationship that they had. So Lily and Jack have that relationship, but there's that spark with Billy. So don't snooze on that because that's going to be a big storyline coming up soon too.
And then you got Jill. Jill's the one that set them up to begin with, so I'm expecting Jill to pop up any minute.
Here's the thing. Jill always had a spot for Lily in her heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that was evident. That has been evident for a long time. The way they're writing Lily now kudos to all the writers, Susan, Josh, see, I can be nice, Josh, James and everything. You're finally writing Lily the way that she was supposed to be, a boss. Because that has always irked me. And before certain fan base jumps on me, it could have happened when the pairing was on TV. But, again, sometimes you do need to break apart for the individual to have a story arc, and down the line, they may bring somebody back. Or they may go in the direction of, something else. Look, Billy and Lily has always been on a fan's mind. I mean, and especially now, and let's just say what it is. Let's just say it. Crystal Khalil and Jason Thompson have chemistry.
They do.
Oh my God! And she's got chemistry with She's got chemistry with what's it called? Nick, Josh Romero. They've got major chemistry too. So she's got a way that she could go either way, which I love that.
Yeah, but she's also got a great chemistry with Amelia, a.k.a. Victoria. So, there's going to be yes. When you put those two women, oh my God, just let's not snooze on that. Young and the Restless, you got me back. Now let's see if you can keep me. But
yeah,
I have a
still
feeling
some things that ain't working.
No, but what is working right now is working well enough that it's gonna push us through into the new year. But watching the time, we've got to jump over to LA. And,
hold on, before you go. Before we go over there, I just wanted to give my 2 cents for this.
Oh my God, yes, please. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's okay. I just wanted to say, one, I wasn't expecting it so soon that Elena would confess. I thought it would fester more in her, and you would see more of the guilt come in. But it's like she didn't hold it in that long. It's like
no, but they had to do it that way because then the storyline would go, AKA, the women murdering what's his name. They don't want to go down that. Yeah, they don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. So no, they hit the beat perfectly this time. They hit the beat perfectly.
Also, if you recall, also I hinted, I think 2 weeks ago when I was on with you guys, I hinted that pay attention because some of the stories will move a little faster now because they're moving into November sweeps and they've probably rushed the stories just a little bit.
Well, they are because you're going to see a seismic shift. Courtney Hope coming in as Sally Spectre is going to bring a huge, huge shift. Gloria coming back is coming back with a huge secret.
Yeah.
There's a huge. So they're shifting away from these storylines that we have all hated. They are paying attention. They're taking notes.
They're paying attention.
They're paying attention. And we are going to see. We are going to see more with Sharon as well. Which I can't wait.
What do you think about what's going to happen with Sally Spectre? Who do you think they're going to try to team her up with? There's so many guys, it makes it interesting.
Well, I don't know if it's true or not, but I read that she's Chance's old girlfriend, but I don't know if that's true.
I heard that too. I heard she's got connections to some people in town.
That rumor.
I'm thinking she could be connected to
Kyle.
I
saw it online. I saw it online someplace. Adam.
Adam.
You think she's the woman from Vegas? No.
Watch.
No, she can't be the woman from Vegas.
She can't be the woman from Vegas, but just watch. Adam.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, and he's gunning for Ray.
Here's the thing. Everybody was saying, where is Sally Spectre? Is she going to fit in with Theo and Kyle? Do they know her from New York? You keep forgetting that Young and the Restless, Josh, put himself in the corner with this, but now you're starting to see it slowly unravel of everything that happened in Vegas. There's with Chance being interviewed from Paul. What happened in Vegas don't always stay in Vegas. Adam, stuff from Vegas is coming out. So it's okay, who lives the closest to Vegas? Let's think about it. And who has one of those attitudes of don't F me over? That would be Sally. because right now with Chance and Abby, by the way, I apologize again to Anthony and David for what I wrote 2 years ago about actually wanting Abby and Chance to hook up. I apologize on so many levels.
Thank you, girl. Thank you.
Because you wanted it? Because you wanted them together then?
No. Okay, so basically, in this tweet that I did when I said, hashtag, if I was the writer of Young and the Restless, this is before I knew any better, I had said, certain storylines, which actually kind of came true. But one of them I said that Chance would return and he wants to reclaim Chancellor Industries from Kane. But he also sets his sights, I'm actually remembering what I said, he also sets his sights on another GC princess, and that would be Abby. I did not know that they were going to do it, and the thing is that I don't want them together. And I think it's because on paper it sounded good, and it's no offense to the actors. But, yeah, because, look, I was surprised that Abby brought up Stitch. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, don't get my hopes up that you're going to bring Stitch back, which they could. That would be interesting. But her wanting to have a child, and I'm like, okay, y'all moving a little too fast. So that's why I was like, hold up. When they said Courtney was coming on as Sally, I was like, bada bing, bada boom. I was like, Chance and Sally. I was like, okay. I was like, I was like, wow, this is going to be interesting. But I do want Sally and Summer to be friends. I know. Be quiet, but let me have this, Anthony. Let me have the dream for a minute. Oh, no.
All right, we're gonna move over to LA now.
Sally's going to be stirring up the town of Genoa City, and according to what I was hearing as well, she changes a lot of people's lives in Genoa City, unlike ever before.
Yep, and it all starts. Yeah. All right, David. You have been more quiet than the rest of us. You start us off in LA with the Bold and the Beautiful.
Well, let's see. I just saw Hope give Liam the riot act, and I absolutely applauded her, and I'm surprised that it got through to him.
I'm so proud of Hope.
That's it? All right, go ahead, Willie.
All right, I got to say, I am loving the chemistry with Steffi and Tanner Finn. It is exciting, and I'm loving I love it. I love how Liam is acting, you're going to laugh, but he's kind of male PMSing, acting like a broken boyfriend that lost his girlfriend, so I thought that's kind of funny. And I give kudos to, I'm trying to keep the characters, Hope. She finally told Liam, oh, my God, Liam, you're starting to act like a jealous lover. Stop it. She needs to move on. She needs to be happy. So I love it. Thank you, writers.
Candice?
I'm so proud. And everybody goes say, she's always so proud of Bold and Beautiful. But here's the thing. You know how we mentioned earlier how some stories need to start wrapping up and everything? One of the things that we constantly have been saying is that Steffi or Hope needs to move on from Liam. And that Liam needs to feel a certain type of way about not being the center of either woman's attention. Like, the fact that Steffi, yes, she had a breakdown. Yes, it can actually happen. Shout out to Jacqueline. By the way, congratulations, Jackie. Seriously? We're having another one? We're having another baby? Okay. The fact that Steffi is moving on with a guy that, she doesn't know too well, and that's fine. It's at least it's another guy. Like, we have a break from Liam, Steffi, Hope. Liam, Steffi, Hope. And the fact that Hope called him out on it, it made it even better because one of the things we kept saying is one of these women, they have, first and foremost, both of these women have seen via their parents how a triangle can destroy their lives as well as the children. Yes, Hope and Steffi, who were sisters, who were friends, they're both mothers now, and they're trying to do better for the next generation. Liam, however, he's like a kid. He's like, well, if you can't play with me, I can go over to Steffi's house. Da-da-da-da-da. Well, guess what? You can't. And like Hope said, you can let her be happy without being jealous, because that's what you are. And I think for Hope to say it, it kind of hit Liam in the head. When Thomas even said it, and Liam said, you know, and Hope saying, well, because of the history, of course Liam is still going to have feelings for Steffi. They share a kid together. I just like, and I enjoyed how that one scene when Finn and Liam were going back, and Steffi's kind of just like, okay, I don't have to fight this battle. Somebody,
nope, I'm going to sit here and enjoy this. Yep.
Right, because it's like it has to have been, and not only that, but the fact that when Liam says, you take care of her, and Thomas even said that too. So it's kind of like, okay, this guy now has the ultimate responsibility here of being the one to help Steffi move on. And it's not a guy that has not been with Hope or anybody else.
Anyone else for that matter.
Actually this is somebody who has taken interest in her because of who she is. Now, the question is, hopefully she is she's actually being nice to him because she has feelings for him, and not for what I'm thinking, because now that Jackie's going on maternity leave pretty soon, I mean, girlfriend is like 12, almost 25 weeks, so she's getting there, is I hope she doesn't try to use him to get a certain prescription or anything to make her relapse. Yes, the addiction storyline was fast, but to me, like,
but
right
there was
now,
a reason,
Rose is giving me. Yeah, well, okay, so for those who kept saying that, this story was supposed to happen around April of this year. Obviously, the league was shut down. Jackie has said they came to her around February that they were going to start. This was going to be a part of May sweep, April and May sweep. And it was supposed to last until right around now. They was guys going to stretch it. But because of everything, because all these shows, first and foremost, California is still high in numbers, so you don't know when they're going to shut down. They want to try to get as much as they can out, because if they get shut down, they're going to lose the momentum a little bit.
Okay, wait.
Right
now, pause in there, because I think one thing really needs to be said. I want to really, really congratulate the writers of The Bold and the Beautiful, because the Hope, let's call it freak out, and the whole driven the way harkens back to Brooke, Ridge, Taylor, and James, and that whole it was almost word for word when Brooke went off and slapped Ridge, although I don't remember what year it is. I'll go on YouTube and I'll post it online.
Like 1992, 93, 94.
Yeah, it was almost word for word, and it was like, okay, finally they are giving, because this is Brooke's daughter, that is Taylor's daughter. You know, Ridge is the common denominator between. Liam is the common denominator between. So kudos. I mean, kudos Bold and the Beautiful writers right now for so many different reasons, but kudos also for seeing that. As far as the Steffi thing is concerned, I think she is going to relapse, and she's going to have to go away, and that's going to be the maternity story. You know, to get her off. Though, I would love actually if Finn goes a little off the rails and kidnaps her, but no one knows she's kidnapped, and Thomas, except for Thomas, but Thomas uses that for the next stage of his plans. But we'll see. Anyway, okay, I'm done.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Speaking of Thomas, what's going on with him playing with dolls?
Okay, yes, I know.
I heard about a mannequin.
Okay, Okay. I'm gonna be the voice of reason.
I was laughing my ass off when I saw that. I'm like, oh my God, they actually. Because remember, Bill did hint on the interview. He said, "Don't worry, those dolls will find a storyline somehow in the Bold and Beautiful." And when they played it, I think it was yesterday. I was like, I barely watched it because people were on the media and they're talking about it. And then I got to see the clip. I'm like, oh my God, he's actually with the doll.
Okay, can I just tell you something though? Many people think this is crazy. But Will, you just said something. I want you to say it again. How did you, before you saw it, what did you hear? What did you said you went on social media and saw people talking about it? That's what you said, right?
I was on social media and I saw people were trying to post, talk about it like, oh my God, I can't believe that he's actually talking to dolls. They were teasing like maybe he's talking to the doll because he bumped his I think it was his head against the wall or something like that when he was talking to somebody.
When he dropped his phone, yep.
Yeah, and then I saw this clip, and as soon as I saw the clip, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing that. I thought that was funny. I'm such a big Thomas fan, so that really made my day.
I'm going to tell you something. And Anthony, you guys probably know what I'm about to say. This is why Bold and Beautiful is the most watched soap around the world, because they know how to promote and they know how to do something that will cause a shock for people to talk about it on social media and in the interviews. Yes, here's the thing. We knew when Brad Bell said that the actors would use mannequins, people who have never watched Bold and Beautiful a day in their lives tuned in to see when the show was going to show the dolls. Obviously, Issa Rae, who is on HBO's Insecure, she posted about it when Lawrence and Kiara kissed, when it was the Zoe Carter kiss. She's never seen Bold and Beautiful a day in her life. When you have Eve, the soup, have it as one of their top highlighted moments, Eve, which is an NBC company, highlighted Bold and Beautiful. There's been interviews about these dolls, these mannequins and whatnot, So check this out.
Since it came out.
They said the dolls were, and when they said they were going to do a mannequin storyline, first and foremost, I think everybody put two and two together where it was going to go at. But the fact that they are doing it, here's the thing. Watch the ratings next week. You tell me if it was stupid or if this was a smart decision. Because, yes, when you're a fan and you're like, oh, my God, this is not Passion, this is not Timmy, this is not, this is Bold and Beautiful. But keep in mind, we're now in the age of you have to do whatever you got to do to get those ratings, even if it's to kind of
and you know what? That's true. I
haven't seen
I hope the ratings go high because I know everybody's watching it.
Well, let me just say this too. If you've seen, and I think they announced the ending of this channel was Quebec. I can't even say it, but it's a channel you get down. It's an app. There's a show with Anna Kendrick that is called. You probably know the show is called Dummy. And it's about a girl who finds out that her boyfriend has a sex doll. Well, only to her, the sex doll talks, and they go on adventures together and everything like that. It's like a Thelma and Louise type of show. With Bold and Beautiful, here's the deal. We all know that Thomas is not 110% normal, especially when we found out his mama was his therapist. We know that what they're doing is that they're trying to showcase how everybody has moved on, how Hope is now working with Zende and Thomas at Hope for the Future, how Steffi is moving on with her life with Kelly and Sin, how, even Carter. Y'all, Carter got a freaking new job, and he got a girlfriend, and he got a new house. Look at that. Look at how Soap Jesus works. Everybody is moving on. But Thomas still feels as though there's something missing. The fact that he still is trying to flirt with Hope, because Hope says, I see you. And he's like, you see the dimples, you see the body. And she was like, no, I see somebody who wants to work. That's not what Thomas wants to hear. And the fact that, again, people are moving on, he feels as though he has to do something. There was a reason we saw that scene of him bumping his head, because now his obsession, which never died, he now has a doll that is going to be his support. And if you ever seen the movie Lost and the real girl with Ryan Gosling, you know where the story's going, and no, it's not going to be icky factor. It's interesting what they're doing. Yes, crazy. Yes, Thomas. Oh my God, people are like, but Thomas always gets sacrificed. How come it always has to be the Forresters that's been sacrificed? I mean, so the Forresters sacrificed each other since 1987, but Thomas has never been wrapped too tight. Like, he's always been loosey-goosey. So
yeah, don't forget the berries. Don't forget the berries.
Right. And not only that, but he's always had, out of all the kids, he has a mental illness. And yes, Bo, I decided to do some research because here at Take Two Radio, we do our research. General Hospital, you can't do no more of these storylines. Baseball lines, don't even think about it. Bo, you have not done a brain tumor storyline in a while. If you're going to try to, quote unquote, I know we're jumping ahead, but other than that, I'm enjoying it because it's something original. It's not a
but Candice,
show.
You're leaving one very, very important piece out of this, character profiling of Thomas, and that is he, just like his sister, but from the opposite end, has daddy issues. He's never been daddy's son. Steffi has always been more of daddy's son than he is.
Yeah.
So that's going to come.
Even better.
I've got a little teaser update for y'all. I got a little teaser update. There's a familiar character that's returning to Bold and Beautiful, and her name is Paris, if that rings a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Zoe's sister.
Yeah, I told it. I think it's next week or the week next after. But anyway, she'll return, and that's going to be during sweeps.
Well, I think the big story came out today. The big casting news came out today. And I guess we can say it. Daddy Avant's coming. Daddy Avant's coming on Friday. Daddy.
Who's coming?
Avant.
Ready?
Daddy.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yes.
Daddy. Yeah. Because we know that, okay, we haven't been on. So we all know Carla Mosley is not coming back, even though we already kind of knew that. But she made it official. Rain Edwards, straight tuned. The Papa Don't Preach Avant is going to be coming. And I know a lot of fans are kind of feeling a certain type of way about Zende, about Nicole, about the accent. Mm-hmm. But with Thomas, here's the thing. You said about daddy issues. I'm going to even give him one even better. He's never been first choice.
Yep.
Point blank. Mm-hmm. Point blank. He's never been first for a relationship because, remember, Steffi pawned him to propose to Hope back in the day. Right. I would say the only real relationship he had was with Gabby, with that whole marriage thing. That was like 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
Caroline. I'm not even going to touch that. Sasha, like there was potential. I mean, Sally, that relationship that went nowhere. So to me, it's a bunch of things, again, that you're right. He has daddy issues. He has mommy issues. He has relationship issues. He has so many issues. He has issues. He tried to burn down Rick's house.
Yep, I remember that.
So it's like he has a thing where he doesn't like when people take things away from him, but at the same time he can't control. His relationship with Ridge is seriously Eric and Ridge all over again.
Exactly. He slept with two of his daddy's wives.
So, and he's jealous of Steffi.
Let's not forget the berries.
Yeah, and he's jealous of Steffi. He wanted to prove himself. Ridge said, no, we're not doing it. California dreaming, bye-bye. So, to me, and he's jealous of Liam. I'm sorry, he is. And that's why I'm like, I'm gonna give this story a chance because, again, like I said, this is not passion. If this story was done on days, that would be a shoo-in, that would be a fit. But considering the fact that this is the same guy who a year ago, tomorrow actually, programmed a ghost to scare his own child. Y'all remember that ghost? That ghost should have won an Emmy. It doesn't surprise me. And I think this may help him or it may break him. I also think this is going to also cause Liam and Hope to be split up for a little bit, too.
I also think, too, that it was, I mean, nothing on Thomas because I love Thomas, but I feel that with Bold and Beautiful, they kind of had Thomas to where he's like the ignored, Forrester. And,
Thomas
that's why it's like, yeah.
Thomas
and
is Thorn.
It's like you see it now with the storylines. They're picking up better, but it's like now you can see Thomas getting his branch out. He's evolving more. He's, you can see more of him. So he's not being as ignored as he was before. So I really like that. Thank you, writers.
But wait, we have not seen the end of the dolls.
I have to see that today yet. I haven't seen it yet. So that sounds...
Yeah, I heard about that. That something's going to happen with Thomas and that doll storyline supposed to occur, I think, like I said, again, next week or the week after. They're trying to put a lot of good stories together as much as they possibly can because, November 5th already kicks off already, October 29th.
Like I said,
there is the possibility of another shutdown.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The numbers in California, especially Burbank, especially around Studio City and all that, is still up.
Days lucked out. They lucked out big time, and they did exactly what needed to be done. But how lucky are they going to be? How lucky is the next show going to be?
And I mean, think about this. Bold and Days were the two soaps that shut down early, like a couple of weeks ago, because of staffers who tested positive. So far, knock on wood, Young and GH has been cleared. Knock on wood. But you have to prepare for the unknown. And, one thing we do want to say to all the soaps is you guys did prepare. You didn't have a choice, but you did what you were supposed to do. Some of you guys threw the scripts out and you rewrote and you readjusted. You listened to the fans, who complained all the time, Anthony. And then there was some of you guys who looked at your staff and said, you know what, let's expand and bring people on that will kind of help us, a la Susan on Young and the Restless, a la certain other people too. And that, we may disagree on some things, but we do appreciate that you guys are really understanding now that this genre
you owe us.
got another.
That you owe us.
Yeah. You, and not only that, but this genre had to get a jump start because, like you said, if it happens again, God, please don't let it happen again.
Please.
I got a quick question.
None of the shows
I got a quick question.
Bounce back. Go ahead, Will.
Okay, I was just wondering because I've been trying to watch Young and Restless as much as possible every day. But did Theo and Victoria, did they ever get to hook up, or was that just a rumor?
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Okay, they never did. Okay, that's fine. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up, and this is also going to be my question, but I'm really excited because you know how I felt about Lola. I was tired of Lola. But now it seems like Lola's done 180, and it's like she's a little headstrong. She's a little more determined, which I'm loving this. But I'm wondering with y'all, who do you want Lola to be paired with? Because it seems Kyle can choose between Summer or Lola with his feelings. Do you think that Kyle and Lola and Summer are done, or do you think they just should move forward?
Oh, they're not done.
Okay, real quick. Let me just say this real quick. I also want everybody to pay close attention to, how we just said about Days with Women, pay very close attention with Young and Restless and New Women. Pretty much all the women has brains now. Okay, I'm done.
I'm just going to say, don't sleep on Noah.
I know, I heard about Noah. That's why nobody believes me. I told him Noah was returning. They're like, how's that possible? He was only on for one day. I'm like, you guys got to pay attention to the storyline. It hinted Noah would return.
Well, here's another thing. It also helped that the show. First and foremost, I didn't want anybody to lose their jobs. Let me just say that. But in this case, I guess it's a soap Jesus blessing. His show, his primetime show, because of the corona, is not coming back. Therefore, Therefore, Young and the Restless, you know what you need to do. Steve Kent, don't make me call that number. I have that number. Yep. I don't speed dial, but I do have some pictures. But the thing is that right now with Young and the Restless, especially what they're doing behind the scenes, they're trying to revamp. You have to revamp before January. Can they do it? Yes. Can Days do it? Hell yeah. GH, which we're going to go to next. Bold, you're doing okay. But GH, I never saw. Get ready. Get ready. This is going to be a first. General Hospital, you have earned my respect for what you did.
Did you hear about General Hospital? I don't know if you guys mentioned this or not, but as far as I was told for General Hospital's sweep story, there's going to be 3 returns and 1 death.
Who do you think the death is, Willie?
I don't know. It could be anybody, but it could possibly be Jax because it seems like they're really pushing for, Valentine and Nina to reunite. So if Jax really doesn't have a story or anywhere or anything to do, I'm thinking they could kill Jax just to get him out of the show for a little while.
What about you, Candice?
Okay, Pam's not on here. She's probably going to listen later. I'm sorry. It's been 3 years as of Tuesday. Bye, Peter.
Yeah. Yep. It's not going to be Jax. It's going to be Peter. Yep.
Pam's now.
And Pam's okay. Pam's not listening, right? Okay. Love you, Pam.
Nope.
Hey, girl. But, yeah. General Hospital, let me explain what's going on with General Hospital for those who don't understand why all of a sudden Candice's team GH all of a sudden. I don't know when it happened, but, again, when I said earlier how some people threw out scripts, General Hospital was one of those shows. Because now they're done, and I don't know if anybody has noticed it. You got something that represents the 80s. You got something that represents the 90s. And you got something that reminds you of the early 2000s, and that's carrying on to now. The fact that you really did a couple of things, like saying that Holly is not dead, well played. Because that was a lot of issues with that. It's like, how y'all gonna kill Holly? Like, really? You brought back the adventure with Olivia,
you brought
Robert,
back the adventure.
Ethan. You had Ethan, who, by the way, GH, you can go ahead and do the DNA test right now. Roberts is really Ethan's father, right? Okay, all right, cool. I love it. The fact that when I say about the 90s, Ned and Alexis, I didn't see that coming.
Yep,
I didn't see that coming. I did not, because when I say I did not, I mean, them having a scene together is one thing. The fact that they even said they were better than Sonny and Brenda. Do you guys remember message boards back in the day when people was like, well, who was the best couple of the 90s? Was it Ned and Alexis? Was it Sonny and Brenda? Was it AJ and Carly? Was it Luke and When they said all that, when they brought up the gatekeeper, I mean, the history was pouring out, okay? When they showed Ned and Brooklyn,
good
ladies
Lord.
and gentlemen, Ned and Brooklyn are 2020's version of Edward and Tracy.
Edward.
Mhm.
They are.
I have been enjoying this story. I'm enjoying seeing Lucy Cole. Anytime Lucy Cole is on screen, it's a party.
Thank you.
Thank you. They brought back Deception. Like, you guys don't understand
I love
how
her.
big Deception was.
Her. I love Lucy.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're giving us so much. Hey, wait. Let me wait. I need to know who's funding General Hospital. Because, it was one thing to hear Kim Delaney was coming back to her ABC daytime roots, which, by the way, some actors, you may want to take note. That's how you got exposed with soaps. Don't turn your back on soaps, because guess what? One day you're going to have to come back when your career kind of dries up. Not saying all of you guys, but y'all know some of y'all. The fact that Kim
but now that you brought her up.
Okay, wait, and I just want to throw this in there. The death
Thrown in.
might be a red herring. I have a feeling that it's not going to end up being Peter. they're going to bring Gregory Harrison on for a very short arc, and he's going to be the one that's dead. And it's going to have something to do with Cyrus.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, Lord.
But wait a minute, real quick.
What about the rumor? What about the rumor that one of the children gets supposedly hit? Like winds up in the hospital or something during this mob war that's getting ready to explode.
Okay.
Well, Chase is getting nosy.
Right.
Okay.
And okay, go ahead. Evan.
It could go in one of two directions. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Either Violet, and we'd never see it coming, and that would be fucking horrible. Oh my God, excuse my language. That would be horrible because they need to stop playing with the young kids like that. Or it'll be someone from the Josh Cameron Trina Dev set.
Dev. Mm-hmm.
And I think and that's if they go in the Violet direction, I'm gonna flip the F.
Oh my God, no, you can't.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it's supposed to be one of the children. It's not going to be It's not going to be Josh, Cameron, Trina. It's not going to be them. The rumor is it's supposed to be one of the children. That's part of the like Elizabeth's kid or maybe Lulu's child. It's supposed to be a child, is what I was told.
Okay, here's the problem that I think we're all having right now. If General Hospital does it on the heels of the Alzheimer's storyline, and the fact that if it's one of Elizabeth's kids again, or right now they don't need that. They don't need a kid.
It's gonna be. They need it to be Dev so they can bring Brenda on and finally reveal that Brenda is Dev's mother.
Right.
That's what it needs to be.
And I know what some people are thinking when we just said that. Oh, that's how Olivia and Dante. But here's the thing. This has been going on for about a year that Dev needs to be Brenda's child. Because up until recently, there has, and this again, nothing against the actor, there was no need for Dev. Because it was either you make him somebody that's connected to the canvas or just cut your losses. That's why I said, like, with General Hospital, there's a little bit of each decade that really made General Hospital a staple. The fact that we do have, quote-unquote, the Four Musketeers, because every decade has the kids, right? You have, Taggart. Think about this. You do have the next generation of Jason and Carly with Jocelyn and Cameron, right? Okay. Then at the same time, that's done some heat with Elizabeth and Carly if they do go down that romantic path. The fact that Trina is Taggart's, let me repeat that for those who are trying to switch it up, that's Taggart's kid, and I'm fine with that because, Taggart had roots on that show, Gia and everything like that. With Dev being odd man out, being sort of like the Xander, the Juan, who else? The Spinelli, kind of like odd man out, but still has some roots on the show. It would be more interesting to have him tied to Brenda to kind of bring back Vanessa Marcel. By the way, Vanessa, stop teaching people on Twitter. General Hospital right now is going through something, and it's interesting, especially after the years that we've had suffered, and we're seeing General Hospital is like, okay, we're doing this storyline. Yes, okay, we know you guys didn't appreciate it, but we're going to try to fix it. Yes, we're bringing back Jackie Templeton, a staple character from the 80s. We have Greg Harrison. They have Greg Harrison coming to General Hospital. Oh, my God.
I know, right? Trapper MD. I love him.
No, I know some people remember him as that, but where do I know him from? Falcon Crest.
Falcon Crest. Yep.
I'm not going to get fangirled on here tonight. But the fact is that you already have Chase as a part of the 80s canvas, okay? There's stuff that's happening on this show right now. Dr. Obrecht is back. You have, Michael and Willow. You have Brooklyn and Valentine. Can we talk about that?
Well, stay tuned. Stay tuned this week coming up. This next week coming up, stay tuned because it's going to be a little funny. You're going to have quite a few characters. They're trying to ask advice from Dr. Collins, and it's kind of funny. It's going to be like, man, he's going to have to do double billing because he's gonna get advice from. I was told, I think it was supposed to be Carly and I think Sam. They turned to him for advice, and I think it's Lulu too.
Okay,
yep.
wait, that's something else. That's something else. The fact that Ryan is playing Ava.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that they're writing Ava and Nicholas, the way that they're doing, like, there's certain things on this show that is starting
They're turning
to
it
kind of
around
gel.
a little bit at a time.
Yeah, they're turning it around slowly but surely. And the thing is that, yes, they brought up a story. This is what I said about Peter, that Alex may be Peter's mother. You know what? It took forever and a day, literally, for y'all to figure this out, that Anna is not that boy's mother. We've been saying it since day one when they was doing. They must have forgot about the twin storylines that they were doing on that show, and that's fine. And that's fine. Sometimes you have to live and learn. But
yeah,
now now the show is getting to a point where they have to turn. They need to turn it around. All shows are turning it around, but General Hospital, considering that they do have a large cast, yes, that their storylines were all over the place. In the beginning of the year and last year, their stories was everywhere. You guys heard us talk about it, is that this story didn't connect to this one. The only solid storyline was the Alzheimer's storyline. They messed up the
they're all
David
going to
storyline.
connect.
Right, but what I'm saying is like, okay, that was your main story that actually had a beginning, a middle, and yes, an end. The baby storyline with Nell and them, we debated about how they should have done it. Because there was two people who should have been a part of it, and you don't see them anymore. Christina, where is she? Where has she been at? Where has she been hiding at? The hospital drama
is back.
Okay, let's
You're going to want to set your DVRs for this week coming up because, which will be next week, Anna learns the truth and Maxie confronts Peter. So that's going to be fun. So stay tuned for that.
Yes. Okay, first and foremost, just on a sidebar, I loved when they revealed what was going on with Obrecht and Dr. whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
I was just, yes, classic GH. But no, let's set the record straight. They have reversed the only storyline that they left that they are continuing, which is, you know, people were complaining about, is the whole Nina Baby thing. But they have reversed all the horrible storylines and brought it out. They quickly, very, very quickly fixed the whole baby storyline. They're in the process of fixing the Chase, Willow, Michael, Sasha storyline. What the hell is his name?
They're fixing it?
You don't see where it's going?
What?
Jason?
What?
With Chase, Willow, Sasha, and Michael.
Yeah,
Michael is...
They're talking annulment, but I don't know.
Yeah, but Michael is going to be the one that goes rushing to Sasha when she ends up in whatever devastating situation she's about to end up in. And that's gonna blow the whole thing out of the water. Whether it be Chase ends up because he feels so guilty that he ends up confessing because of what's happening with Sasha, or Sasha breaks down in the middle of her breakdown and confesses. They're fixing that storyline. Thank you so much. They fixed Jason and Sam. We didn't know who the hell Sam was before the pandemic hit. They quickly wrecked it. Now, I didn't like the whole ELQ play in the beginning, but now I see, and I'm good. When Sam made that phone call, I thought when she turned to Jax and said, "I know I've got the perfect person," I thought she was going to go running right back to Alexis and be like, "Okay, I've got a project for you, drunken mommy." But no, we're pitting a ELQ against Aurora, which again goes back to classic GH storyline fixes. They have systematically fixed. The only thing we need to now fix is what the hell happened to Hayden, and resolve this whole Peter thing. I'm sorry.
Okay, so my question is Aurora being owned now by Jax? Does Jax now own Aurora? Because I get confused.
He owns half
Jax
of it.
owns half of Aurora, and Sam's Scout owns half of Aurora, but of course, Sam is the custodial, blah, 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 blah of that.
So when Drew Kane, let's say Drew Kane does return, does that mean that he doesn't have ties to Aurora, or does he?
He does. The only reason Scout owns it is because Drew
That's
said.
That's why Sam has it.
If Drew does, no, Sam doesn't have it. Sam is custodial for Scout.
Custodial,
the half of, the other half of Aurora is owned by Scout technically, and Sam is the custodial of that because she's 3.
Okay, yeah, thanks. I was just getting confused by the storyline because the way it was looking, and it's just the angle of perspective I saw, it just seems like Jax talks about Aurora a lot, so it makes me wonder, did he somehow get ownership? Because it seems like he's taking control.
Yeah.
I was just getting confused by the story, so thanks for the clarification.
I don't think that they knew when they were going towards before COVID. I don't think they knew exactly what they were doing with the Nina Baby storyline, but they know exactly what they're doing now. And if they play the beats right, it's going to be perfect because it wasn't one baby; it was twins for sure. But they need to wrap it up. They need to keep it moving. Find Patricia or whatever the hell her name is.
Don't forget that Jackie has
Do you think they're going for the boy?
Yet to explore.
Jackie has what?
Do you think they're
Jackie
going
has
toward
a
a
few
boy?
secrets that needs to be explored. Even though she's in town, and we've just found out she's Chase's mom.
Honey,
and we're going to get more secrets that's yet to be revealed about Jackie.
The secret that we need to know about Jackie is that her and Finn did the nasty, and she married the daddy to legitimize her baby.
Or
the death is going to be Chase's daddy.
I still think that it's going to turn out to be Chase's Robert's son.
So that Jackie is available to play the field. They're gonna kill off Gregory. He's not gonna be on long term. He's gonna pop in. Da 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 da. It's gonna have something to do with Cyrus, and boom.
And I'm
dead.
mad about that.
Me too.
Oh well.
But that's okay.
But my question is, do you think they'll have? My question is to you all: do you think that? Yeah, hold on. All right. That
all right. Well,
maybe
while you're coming up with your question, I just have to say kudos. Kudos to Elizabeth and Franco.
Greg?
Go ahead, David.
Do you think it was this way, that maybe she cheated on Finn with his father, or was it the other way?
I think that her and Finn was together first.
I think she cheated, yeah.
She cheated on Finn with somebody. They want us to think that Finn is Chase's father. He's not going to be. Chase's father is going to be somebody that we know that has Port Charles history.
That's why I said my vote is on Robert. I think it's Robert Scorpio.
I don't.
No,
think it's Robert
because
I'm just going to say this.
The years don't match up.
Here's the thing.
The years don't match up.
You know how they had that episode when people thought Ethan was Robert, and they had Robin says, "How old are you?" and whatnot. The math doesn't add up. Well, here's the thing. She should have said that to Peter too, but that's another story for another day. I'm just gonna say it right now. Tony Geary's in California.
Yeah, I saw his
and
picture
so is Jane.
on TV Guide.
So is Jane Elliott.
So you don't think it's going to be Finn?
I don't think Finn is going to end up being.
I think it's going to be Finn, but at the same time, because it's Jackie and she's known to keep secrets, that's what I'm saying. It's just, I know the years don't match, but I think she's going to say it's Finn so that she doesn't expose that it's Robert. But I don't know. It could be another guy. You never know. It's Jackie. Like I said, she's known to keep secrets.
Yeah, and don't forget, General Hospital loves to write history that never happened on screen. And this is the perfect because we haven't seen Jackie in 35 years. So
is Lori connected to Jackie? Was she in that that mixed during that time?
Laura's connected to Jackie because Jackie's sister, Laura Templeton, was also missing when Laura was missing. They're not related in any way, shape, or form. They were just in that story. They were all in peripheral in that storyline. Jackie.
So that means that Laura could interact with Jackie.
Of course she can, and so can Luke if he happens to come back.
Mhm.
I love this. I love that they're bringing in history. Good job, GH.
Absolutely, and I'd love to think brought Bobby back for that one day. But come on, Jackie Templeton is back in town. Bobby needs to show back up.
Oh,
and what happened
and my other question:
hypoglycemia, or what was she? What's she going through?
Does Scotty know Laura, Jackie as well, or is that just going to be a surprise?
I don't know.
No, Scotty was off campus at that point.
Yeah,
Scotty wasn't in Port Charles at that point.
What about Lucy? Does she know Jackie too?
No, Jackie was gone by the time Lucy came.
Yeah, she was only a couple of years. My question:
the only people that would know
is,
go ahead, David.
And we need Richard Simmons.
No, I've been
Jackie and Bobby need to hold Richard Simmons, and they need to get an aerobics class going at GH. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay, but I read somewhere that they keep making a reference with Jackie and Shiloh, and I can't remember when. They said there was a specific time during the DOD that she was mentioned during that.
Yes.
Oh,
I
yes,
don't
I remember that. That was a nugget of
because
like an Easter.
Because of his book.
Like an Easter egg.
Because of his book. Yes, there was that reference made. Yes.
I can't remember that. So do you think then maybe when Shiloh is talking about the higher ups, could Cyrus be involved as one of
Oh my God, I would love
DOD?
that. I would love Jackie to have like connection ties to like maybe Cyrus and Shiloh, but at the same time it means that she would know Sam and Christina's secrets. So that ties her to them, which will make it interesting. She could have a connection with them, and then she would start talking with Sonny.
There's something about a 40-year-old case that was turned over. So Jordan had to turn over a 40-year-old case. Now I wonder if this is going to tie in Jackie.
Well, that could go back to Laura Templeton. It could go back to Laura Templeton. Yep.
It's interesting,
and why would Cyrus want to see it?
Well, we don't know who Cyrus is.
Right.
Cyrus is a blank slate, and he's got something for Laura, obviously. Yeah.
Is Laura still the mayor?
Yes. Yes.
Laura's in Washington D.C. on a top secret. I think she's stuffed in Grandma Audrey's attic, but they're just saying she's in Washington.
Jeannie Francis is coming back to California. I mean, she was, like we said earlier, actress that is taking corona restrictions. She was over on the East Coast and whatnot. She's coming back. So stay tuned.
All right, here's my question about Jordan.
Like Candice
you all know
Jane
that there's
Elliott
chemistry between Curtis
Tony Geary are both in Los Angeles. So.
Yep.
You all know that Curtis and Portia obviously had their daughter, which is Trina. So my question for you is, with all that coming out soon, what do you think about Jordan? Do you think they should just write her out? Because it seems like they don't know what to do with her character. It's starting to get really annoying.
Here's the thing: they can do so much with Jordan now, because I think you guys know where I'm going at with this. They're giving her meat, but we need for TJ not to be. Okay, Jordan is one of those characters where. Because Jordan is the equivalent of Lola on Young and Restless. How Lola was a certain type of way, then certain writers kind of took away some of her meat, and now you're starting to see some growth. You're starting to see some development, character development. The fact that Jordan was shady, because she knows, what's his name? Oh, shoot, just had it in my head. The one that's doing the mob stuff, Shiloh.
Cyrus? Cyrus?
Cyrus, yes, that she knows him. Here's the thing. If I was the writer of General Hospital, God, I'm just saying that, I would have it where TJ was a product of Cyrus and Jordan.
Yes, I would. Oh, and don't forget that other guy that's alive, the one that's supposed to be, quote, Trina's dad. He's out there still alive.
Oh, Taggart. No, see, yeah. Taggart's still alive, yes. Mm-hmm. And I want Trina, oh, heck yeah, give this story. Look, another thing, General Hospital, you corrected that. Because, like Rial said, because of us fans, we're the ones who brought him back. Because that was something General Hospital did. Took two characters that you may not have seen them a lot, but they did have some weight on the show. And, you know, General Hospital, like I said, is a little bloated. Look, I'm going to be honest. November sweep or towards the end of the year, host a hospital gala, take out half of your cast. Don't let us know who's going, who's coming, or anything. This is what I'm talking about. This is what soaps need to start doing. You need to, as we get closer to the end of the year, like Bold, there's some things that Bold is doing that's crazy, but guess what? They're getting talked about. General Hospital, wait a minute, real quick. General Hospital, I applaud you for something else today. I'm part of General Hospital. Look, right before we end the show. General Hospital, ABC showed a General Hospital commercial doing General Hospital today. Did anybody see it?
No,
I might have. Yeah.
But I gotta say, I was very surprised because I get spoilers and teasers and stuff like that. But the one that really blew me away, which I'm so excited about, was the one with Gregory Harrison, the one that's going to be playing for Chase's dad, Tracker MD or something like that. I'm really excited that he's being a cast on GH. Again, that was a really good nugget of surprise. So they did good there.
Well, like I said, don't get too excited because he ain't going to be around for long.
Yeah.
He's the one that's going to die.
But you know what? I don't know if you guys heard, but, obviously there's an election coming up. I don't know if you guys know. Mm-hmm. But General Hospital is doing a special. Here's the thing. General Hospital, you're doing 2 episodes that are special. You're doing a Halloween episode.
Right.
It's kind of cool. You haven't done that in a while. And then on Election Day, they're having an election-esque episode, which
the women's right to vote.
Learn about. Yeah, the women's right to vote.
I saw the picture. It was beautiful.
Can I just say, this is why. You know what, Erna Phillips? I'm so glad we celebrated you on Tuesday, 90 years of soaps, because this is when you're really proud to be a soap fan. I mean, I know we all are, but this is one of those moments where you're doing what Erna, William J. Bell, Ted and Betsy Corday, Agnes, Claire, Douglas,
everybody,
all these people, everybody, where you educate your viewers. Because I bet a lot of you guys didn't know that November 3rd is the anniversary of the women's rights. I bet you guys didn't know. And the fact that they're using the younger cast. GH, go ahead with your bad self. Go ahead.
Oh, guys, we got
so
3 minutes. We got to wrap.
Oh, we want to wrap?
Yeah.
Follow us on Take Radio.
Let's send some love out to Pam and Carolyn and hope that both of them are doing and feeling and exactly. We want them back here in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
And, follow us on social media. You never know what's going to happen. But I can say this. There's some anniversaries coming up. In the next couple of weeks, there's some anniversaries coming up. And who knows? We might do something. I don't know.
Might be somebody,
Yeah. I mean, you never know. Anybody can stop by. I'm just saying.
Anyone can.
But we'll see you.
So we'll see you in 2 weeks, everybody.
Yep. Bye, guys. Be safe.
Keep watching.
Wear a mask.
And vote.
Vote.
Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit TakeTwoRadio.com.